What is going on, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got our new pirate archetype revealed. It's so cool. I love the way it works. I'm not sure if it's going to be amazing yet, but we'll get into that and we'll talk about that in just a second here. Before we get into it, shout out to Team APS, Nim, and Team Samurai X1. Obviously, they're way bigger than me, but Konami gave them the cards to reveal for the very first time. They have the first reveals on their channels. They all put them up at the same time. Super cool of Konami to do that. Super cool for them to get to do that with a company like Konami. That's such an awesome opportunity, so congrats to them. Shout out to them, because that's where we're getting these cards from. I'm also on Beyond the Duel instead of Yu-Gi-Oh organization, because they do have the pictures on here that they didn't have on Yu-Gi-Oh organization, but still, we know Yu-Gi-Oh org is phenomenal. But yeah, let's get into it. I don't want to waste too much time. Today, we have the Plunder Patrol theme revealed. Now, keep in mind, this patrol has 2 L's in it. Like troll. Like, literally like little trolls. They're like pirate trolls. They're awesome. I love it. Let's start out with the first monster. We've got Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol Helm. He is a Water Fiend Tuner effect monster. Level 4, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. It is interesting that he's a tuner. His effect reads: during your opponent's turn, quick effect. Okay, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute. Oh, that's my alarm. Sorry. With the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. And if you do, equip this card you control to it. Clean. So clean. Second effect: if this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you can activate this effect, special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from your deck, except for another copy of himself. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except for Plunder Patrol monsters. A lot going on there. Just really strong. So that's kind of the first effect. Kind of gives you insight on how the archetype is going to want to function. It's all about seeing what your opponent puts out and you getting the same kind of extract monster out. Super quick and easy, no cost, no anything. That is the super benefit. Obviously, the downside is you kind of got to see what attributes your opponent's playing with to see what kind of extract monsters you're going to be able to go into. So that is definitely a downside there, but we are still kind of able to capitalize. It's just with no cost. Like, the fact that you get it for such freeness is so good. So really strong start. In the float, sent from hand or monster into the graveyard, generically a free Plunder Patrol straight from the deck. So strong. Next up, we've got Redbeard, the Plunder Patrol Matey. This is another Water Fiend effect, level 4 as well, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from the extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard. And if you do, equip this card to it. Same thing there. I think we're going to see all the main deck monsters have that same effect. It's really strong. It just is a little bit, I guess you could say, inconsistent, but it's just a little reliant on your opponent. But because it's a quick effect, it's still really solid, because you just, even going first, you could say, like, oh, what is this deck doing first? They do this on your opponent's turn. You drop your extract monsters on them in the middle of their turn, which is pretty cool. And in the second effect says, if this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you could target 1 Plunder Patrol monster you control, except for another copy of itself, and equip him to it. You'll see that's very important. You really want them to be equipped, and we'll see that some of the extract monsters are like ships. So equipping them to them is essentially the equivalent of them being aboard the ships, and that's what they want. All the ships aren't nearly as good if they don't have a pirate aboard, right? So really cool. I love their designs. This guy's like so hairy, you like can't even see his face, and then they're cool. I don't know, like I don't know. I dig it. I'm digging them hard. All right, then we move to some extra stuff. First, we've got the Plunder Patrol ship Bran. It's a Fire Fiend Synchro effect monster. It's level 8 with 2500 attack, 1000 defense, with its requirements being 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. Okay. And its effect reads like this: all other Fiend monsters you control gain 500 attack. That's a nice little buff, especially since these guys are like kind of mediocre. Makes him 15, but makes him 2000, so that is actually a little relevant. You can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card, then target 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls, banish it, then you can add a Plunder Patrol monster from deck to hand. So a lot going on there. Discard a card, banish an opponent's spell or trap, then add another Plunder Patrol card in its place. Pretty cool. Then, this is a quick effect if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. That's like the other key there, is that if, like on, see, that's the key, is you can make this, right? Because we have a tuner and a non-tuner, but you really want to make this with their first effect because they get equipped. And once he's equipped, that becomes a quick effect. So now it's like a tornado, it's a tornado dragon, but like, it's a walking cosmic cyclone, I guess. And it lets you like discard a Plunder Patrol, which they get effects on discard, and you get to re-add another Plunder Patrol card after that, which is really, really nice. So that's really, really solid. I like that. It gives you extra benefits if you are able to make them like the harder way, I would say, with you know, the monsters being equipped, and that's really, really nice. Other than that, keep in mind this is fire, so this is the first extra monster we're seeing because, as you know from the other effects, it depends on what deck our opponent is playing and then what attribute corresponds to the right one. So this guy is our fire, which is pretty cool. Next up we have Plunder Patrol ship Moerk. I'm gonna say Mork. Anyway, it's a Dark Fiend Xyz effect monster. It's a rank 4 with 1,000 attack, 2,500 defense. I wish it was a little more offensive, but we'll see what it does, and you'll see why it's okay, right? It's completely generic, actually. It takes any 2 level 4 monsters. Pretty cool. You can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card, then target an effect monster your opponent controls, banish it, then add another Plunder Patrol spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So kind of the same thing, but you're banishing a monster instead of a spell or trap. Very strong disruption. This is a quick effect if you're equipped with the Plunder Patrol card. Again, same thing. You just really want to be equipped with a Plunder Patrol card to get that live as a quick effect. You can only use it once per turn, and also if a Plunder Patrol card or cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could attach a material from this card instead. So this just kind of protects every Plunder Patrol card you control. That could be your field spell, that could be the continuous trap, that could be himself, any other monsters. Really solid, making just it really annoying to get around without destruction. So yeah, really solid card. That's just a really strong disruption. Just a quick effect, banish a monster. Very good disruption. Then we have a Link monster. We have Blackbeard, the Plunder Patrol Captain. He's goofy looking. They're all goofy looking, but I love it. I love it. He's a Water Fiend, just like the monsters in the main deck are. Oh, keep in mind, this guy's a Dark Fiend. So Dark, that's really solid coverage that we're getting right off the bat. It's Dark. That's the biggest attribute we need. So keep that in mind. And then, yeah, Plunder Patrol Captain. He's a Water Fiend, Link effects monster. Link 2 with 1,600 attack. He takes any 2 monsters as long as one of them is a Plunder Patrol. So that does open up a little bit of like a versatility in that you can play some other certain stuff, generic good like spammy stuff that can get you into this, get you into your synchro, get you into this in the hard way. Who knows? Anyway, his effect, quick effect. Target an effect monster you control. Special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. And if you do, equip that target to it, then draw 1 card. Alright, so I really wish this would have let me target a card my opponent controls or is in the graveyard, and you could just like special and then equip that card. But I'm not complaining, because you still get to draw a card, which is really nice. You don't have to discard or anything. You just get to drop 1 out and equip, which is really key, because drop this guy out and give him an equip, he's a quick effect banish now. Drop this guy out and give him an equip, he's a beater, he buffs everything, and he's a quick effect banish of a spell or trap. So really, really solid. I think this monster's pretty good, because you can target it. Wait. Oh yeah, because your opponent's probably gonna have like a dark or a fire. There's a good chance, especially in the metagame right now, we have got like Salamangrates and Orcust, Thunder Dragon, Strikers are gonna put Ray in the grave, Strikers are gonna put Kagari in the grave. Like, you've got some really nice utility there. I like him. I think he's just solid. Like, he's not amazing, but he's solid. He's also a water, so you can still special him out of the deck, but water is definitely going to be a little less common than these 2 guys. But he's pretty generic, and I think he's the easiest to make out of the 3 if you're making him the hard way. Next up, we have a field spell called Plunder Patrol Shipyard. This is where all the ships be docking. It's a field spell. Plunder Patrol monsters you control gain 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap zone. So when they equip, boom, 500. If you have the trap up, boom, 500. Everything's getting 1,000 boost. That's pretty cool. And you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. First effect, you can discard one card, any card, to add a Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand, except for Plunder Patrol Shipyard. That's pretty nice. It's literally Rhoda, but you do have to discard. But also the other monsters have effects when they hit the grave. I mean, imagine, what is it, Whitebeard? Whitebeard just specials another one straight from the deck when he hits the grave. So you activate this, you discard Whitebeard, special another one, search another one, and you didn't actually lose any advantage. It's pretty good. And the second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap zone, set this card, and if you do, return that target to the hand. That's actually very, very nice if you have the trap face up, or if you have any of your monsters equipped to something, you just bounce them back and get this card back on the field for free, which is pretty good. That's a really strong recursion effect. Reminds me a lot of Orchestrated Babel. And yeah, I think this is a really, really good consistency card for the deck. I like this card a lot. Next up, we've got Plunder Patrol Booty. The Booty. To continue this trap, you can only... is this... No, it's not a hard one's return. Okay. You can declare one attribute, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls. That's all cost. It becomes that attribute until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. Then you can take one Plunder Patrol monster from your graveyard and either shuffle it in the deck or special summon it. You can only use this card's effect once per turn, and once per turn during the end phase. If you control no Plunder Patrol monsters, you have to send this card to the graveyard. So that's very interesting as well. That's kind of, it's almost like a Mystic Mine-esque effect, but not quite the same. But if you don't have if your opponent is able to out all your Plunder Patrol monsters on the end phase, you do lose this as well. But I really like the first effect. Not only are you manipulating your opponent's attributes to get you to, maybe you really need the your XZs. You're going to force your opponent to have a dark monster. You're going to special then you're going to special a Plunder Patrol monster from graveyard. And if it was like one of the lower like the regular main deck monsters, boom, right there, you get the ship out. That's all you need, and equip. The other thing there is there could be some other applications, something like if you play Goes in Match, you could change some attributes on your opponent's field and screw them over, but I don't think this deck really wants to mess around with Goes in Match. The other thing I thought was interesting is like Super Poly. You could just make an opponent's monster dark, and if they had like a dark and a non-dark, boom, there's two darks. Hit them with a Super Poly. That'd be something interesting as well. But I think this card's really nice. Just a Monster Reborn combined with attribute manipulation to give extra utility, because all these effects are quick effects on your opponent's turn, so you can just change their attribute, then you use these guys, special summon the monster of the right attribute, and there you go. There's your disruption. I think this is a really, really cool start. I think it's really, really fun. I think it's really, really interesting. I'm curious to see what the rest of the extract monsters will look like, because you can't have an archetype that's based around summoning what your opponent has on the field attribute-wise and not have a monster for every attribute. The downside is supposed to be you don't get to decide always what attribute you're going to be able to go into. Not that you don't have right attributes to go into. So this is obviously just the first wave. We should very clearly be getting another wave, maybe even two, in future sets. Probably like Eternity Code, TCG exclusives, and what's the next? Rise of the Duelist, I think, after that. Really, really cool though. I love this start. I think they're fun, cool, cute designs, and I really, really cannot wait to see more from this. I definitely am picking these up, 100%. It's already written, set in stone. I'm picking them up. I don't care. I just am. I'm really, really excited. So, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. I went a little in depth on here, just for 7 cards, but I'm so excited. I think these are so cool. I wasn't expecting trolls. I'm not mad about it. They're really cartoony. They're really kind of goofy, but I love it. I love cartoony. I love goofy. I love anime style stuff. So, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. How good you think this deck is, and if you're interested or not. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Peace.